working on doors today, so I removed the driver's side door. We had to work on some hinges. The hinges on this car, right here, that's where the roller would be for your detente stops. See where they're rounded out here? They would be up against the roller. That's no longer there. These don't rebuild as easily as the GMs do. I guess you'd have to drill this pin out. The kit I assume would come with a pin to drive in there to hold the new roller, but we're provided with a used hinge for this. Here was one of the springs. You can see they're very rusty, and so this is the kind of thing that you never think about when you're doing these jobs. It's a lot of work to clean up a hinge. Here's the roller, you can see the arm. The spring will go in this location under this arm. I have to compress it to put it in. I've cleaned up this spring already. It's ready for me. Cleaned up this hinge, the fasteners. We're going to do a test fit on it before we go any farther, make sure we're good. But all these little things add up to so much time. This kind of things you can overlook when you're doing this type of work, so everyone should be wise to these. All right, here's the spring and the spring compressor. Focus on that. All you do is tighten this nut down. This is hinged on the back end, and it squeezes the spring down. And that in turn allows you, get it in there, put the spring where it goes. So on top of this. Now I'm just going to loosen that out. I'm going to have both hands to do this, so I'll bring it back when we get the tension relieved. Alright, here's the air ratchet here. Loosen the nut off the compressor. There's the spring in place, seated in its pocket. Under the catch on the detente arm up here, you can see it's against the roller. As the door would open, the hinge would swing back this way. My hand here, swing back this way. That would move this roller to this mark, or this mark. And that's as far as it would go. That's why you have closed, you have two stops in when your door is open, a halfway and all the way open. Alright, bring it back when we test fit this. Alright, we're working on this driver's side door. Took it off and I marked it. Give us an idea of where we were originally. Working on this bottom. Pretty bad. There's gold here, where it's had some brazing work done on it years ago. We're going to take this out, fix this. See, it's got a hole to the other side. I like to look at the bottom, see where we're at with that before I go to the outside. It's a matter of preference. So I got a starting point. Some rod in this corner, a little bit on the edge line where it crimps over, a little bit on the inner shell, so let's correct that. A hole right here. I'll have to fix that one. It's kind of hard to get in here to clean all this up. Here's my tools of preference here. I've got a straight inline die grinder with a heavy bristle wire wheel on it. And I've got a 90-degree here with a real thin cutting disc. Very, very thin. You want to be careful when you use this kind of stuff. Not really meant to grind with, but boy, they sure do get down in here perfectly. You can work them either direction. Right this way. Any way to get in here. Clean all that scale and everything off. Cut right down on that line. I should to do as I say, not as I do, I guess here. Wear plenty of safety protection. We're doing this, face shields, ear protection, eye protection, say, gloves, cover-ups. You never know when these wheels will shatter. They're rated at 25,000 RPM, but if they catch on something, you're spinning them up. I think this is a 10,000 RPM grinder here. They can shatter real easy, so you want to be real careful with that. That's where we're at on this door. Now that I see where I'm at in the bottom, I'm probably going to get ready and turn it over. Work on the outer skin, see what we got to do down at the bottom on that. This car had sandblasting done on it, and boy is it ever a mess. I have cleaned and cleaned and cleaned, and there's still sand coming out. So I'll vacuum out the inside of this door shell again before we go any farther. All right, bring you back to make more progress.